Mission: Impossible, the Final Reckoning. The opening gambit. The film begins with a cold open in Istanbul, where a black market auction sells a stolen piece of tech known as the Prometheus Key, a device capable of seizing control of every nuclear arsenal on Earth. A disguised Ethan Hunt attempts to infiltrate the deal, but his cover is blown. After a heart-pounding chase across rooftops and a tram system, the device is stolen by a shadowy figure who vanishes, setting the tone for the high stakes to come. IMF in crisis. Back in Washington, the IMF, Impossible Mission Force, is under political attack after recent catastrophic missions. The CIA director pushes to dissolve the IMF once and for all. Ethan meets with Eugene Kittredge, returning from the first film, who informs him that if the IMF fails this final mission, it will be permanently shut down. The stakes become both personal and global. The Ghost Broker. The team traces the theft to a notorious arms dealer known only as the Broker, an elusive figure who sells weapons to the highest bidder. To learn more, Luther Stickle hacks into encrypted financial networks, revealing that the Broker has aligned with August Walker's surviving rogue network from Fallout. Their mission: weaponize the Prometheus Key. Old allies return. Ethan assembles his team: Benji Dunn, Ilsa Faust, Luther Stickle, and Grace, introduced in Dead Reckoning. Each has their doubts. Ilsa questions if Ethan can keep sacrificing himself. Grace fears betrayal, and Luther warns Ethan that this mission could be their last. The sense of finality builds as Ethan reassures them: we finish this together, or not at all. The first heist. The IMF infiltrates a fortified skyscraper in Dubai to steal intel on the Broker's next move. Using gravity-defying stunts, Ethan dangles outside the glass tower while Benji manipulates security feeds. The mission succeeds, but Ilsa is injured during the escape, planting seeds of tension within the team about how far they can push themselves. The true villain revealed. The stolen intel points to Sebastian Drexler, a former MI6 strategist turned anarchist mastermind. Drexler intends to use the Prometheus Key to erase all global nuclear deterrence, plunging the world into balance through chaos. He views Ethan as the embodiment of a flawed system and vows to break him personally. The betrayal. During a covert meet in Vienna, Grace is captured by Drexler's men. Ethan stages a daring rescue, but discovers that Grace has been secretly manipulated into helping Drexler since the events of Dead Reckoning. Though conflicted, Grace insists she never meant to betray Ethan. She was coerced. This shakes Ethan's trust, but he refuses to abandon her. Chase through Venice. In a breathtaking set piece, Ethan and Ilsa pursue Drexler's operatives across Venice's canals, rooftops, and a masquerade ball. The chase ends in disaster when Drexler himself ambushes them, revealing he knows every IMF move in advance, suggesting a mole within the government. The Broker escapes with the key. The IMF shutdown. The CIA orders the immediate disbanding of IMF, calling them a liability. Kittredge secretly warns Ethan that from here on out, the mission is unsanctioned. They're fugitives once again. With the team cut off from resources, they must rely on their wits, stolen tech, and loyalty to each other. Ghosts of the past. Ethan confronts his past failures in a quiet moment with Luther. They recall Julia, Ethan's former wife, and the toll this life has taken. Luther warns Ethan that Drexler is deliberately drawing him into a personal war, and if Ethan loses sight of the bigger picture, millions could die. This scene grounds the story emotionally, highlighting Ethan's humanity. The train heist. The Broker arranges to sell the Prometheus Key aboard a high-speed train in the Swiss Alps. The IMF stages an audacious assault involving motorcycles, helicopters, and Ethan clinging to the outside of the moving train. After a brutal fight inside a swaying carriage, Ethan retrieves the key, but Drexler escapes with the second half of the device, needed to activate it. The double cross. The team realizes they were set up. The key they retrieved is a decoy. Benji is captured in the chaos, and Drexler broadcasts a chilling message, vowing to kill Benji unless Ethan surrenders himself. The mission is no longer about saving the world. It's about saving family. Into the lion's den. Ethan voluntarily infiltrates Drexler's mountain fortress in Kazakhstan to exchange himself for Benji. Using stealth and disguises, he maneuvers through heavily armed guards. The emotional reunion with Benji shows Ethan's willingness to sacrifice everything. But Drexler locks them both in, activating a countdown for nuclear command override. Ilsa's choice. Meanwhile, Ilsa and Grace lead a parallel infiltration to disable the fortress's defenses. Grace redeems herself by hacking into Drexler's system under fire, proving her loyalty. Ilsa duels Drexler's top lieutenant in a sword and gun fight, sustaining mortal injuries but holding her ground long enough for Ethan to break free. Ethan versus Drexler. In the fortress's control room, Ethan faces Drexler in a brutal hand-to-hand showdown. Drexler taunts him about all the lives lost because of his impossible missions, framing Ethan as a man who dooms those he loves. The fight escalates as the Prometheus key begins its final countdown. The sacrifice. Ilsa, fatally wounded, helps Ethan and Grace disable the control systems, but knows she won't survive. In an emotional farewell, she tells Ethan, "Don't make this your reckoning, make it your legacy." Her death galvanizes Ethan, pushing him to finish the mission. The countdown. With seconds left, Ethan and Grace perform a nerve-shredding final sequence to override the Prometheus key. Benji guides them remotely through collapsing systems, while Luther sabotages Drexler's backup servers. The suspense peaks as Ethan barely manages to pull the kill switch with 1 second to spare. The fall of Drexler. Drexler refuses to surrender, triggering a self-destruct in the fortress. Ethan and Drexler battle one last time as the mountain base collapses. Ethan ultimately throws Drexler into the fiery core of the server reactor, ending his reign of chaos. The aftermath. The surviving IMF team regroups. Ilsa is mourned, and Grace officially takes her place among them, honoring Ilsa's memory. Kittredge reinstates IMF after realizing their necessity. Ethan, however, questions his future, haunted by those he lost. For the first time, he considers stepping away. The final reckoning. The film ends quietly with Ethan visiting Julia from afar, ensuring she's safe and happy. He walks into the shadows, leaving his future ambiguous, whether he will finally retire or be called upon again. Luther's final narration echoes. Ethan Hunt never chose this life, but he chose to protect us all, no matter the cost. The screen fades on the iconic fuse burning out, a symbolic closure to Ethan Hunt's journey.